Customs, Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, Chapter 208. We're back after 2 weeks. Yes, I did read the chapter on, I believe, Monday, but Christmas week, y'all know I'm busy. Anyways, this chapter was something, I'm not gonna lie, it was in really two main parts. The first part, which is the majority of the chapter, then the stuff at the end, which was unexpected. Not gonna lie, it was unexpected of what happened. Anyways, so we return to the scene of Alibaba and his household. They are in front of Ring Koumei. I mean, to the left. I mean, are we seeing fully assimilated household members? There's that one pig. Dude's looking like some Egyptian gods or something. I don't know. One dude reminded me of Anubis, the jackal-headed guy. Anyway, and on the other side, you're looking at the corrupt, just, ugh. I mean, further on down the line, we did see Cohen's household, right? Those guys, man. Those guys are tall. I'm not gonna lie. Those guys are tall. The one dude, he said, remind me, this is kind of skipping, but the one dude, he's like, you remember me? And was it Oba that was freaked out? Toto was just looking, and I mean, Alibaba's not a tall guy, but he's below 6 feet, but he's not, he's not a midget by any means. And so these guys are massive. But I think, Cohen's household, I thought that panel and so that pick was excellently done. But anyways, we get back to the beginning, and Cohen's just looking. See, the thing about Kohen ain't really all about a lot of this nonsense. As we saw later when he explained, like, yo, there was a point where he was like, I was so remote from being emperor, king of the Ko Empire, so heritage and lineage means nothing to me in this regards, as in seeing people any differently. Because at one point, one of the corrupt crackhead looking dude, because I'm serious, the dude's mystic. I ain't got nothing wrong with people mystic, but this dude looks just sinister and evil. I'm not gonna lie, this dude looks villainous. And it's the main dude. Remember the last chapter, I can't say last chapter, but the last chapter in 207 about, I think it was 207, yeah, where the little girl was on the ground, and this dude saying just walk over and talk about slaves like it's so lighthearted. It's just very villainous. I mean, I gotta give it to Otaka and whoever, if anybody's assisting her on capturing emotions of characters. It's some of the best I've ever seen illustrated, period, whether it be in manga or other forms of media. Anyways, so, Alibaba, he's just there, and he's put into a dilemma, and I'm wondering, I'm anxious, actually a little bit nervous, and I don't get nervous, but I was the way they put this in. It's like Alibaba had two choices, right? And I always say there's an alternative. There's a third option, okay? At least one alternative. Alibaba's put in this situation because if he bows, it shows his subservience, his willingness to be dominated by the Ko Empire, just like his predecessors have done, right? But if he doesn't bow, it means he no longer relates to the people of Baba. So it's like, what do you choose? And I'm like, why put people in this ridiculous situation? What does Alibaba do? Straight up wait. Boy, I was like, he bows, but he doesn't fully bow. He doesn't fully prostrate himself, as they say, right? He doesn't fully lay himself on the ground. He does this like this kneeling kind of thing, and he's like, I'll do this all day. It doesn't bother me. He recognizes he comes from humble origins. But he's like, the thing about it is, when we bowed our heads to the ground, it's an old custom in Baba. When you bow your head to the ground, it means you're actually wishing for a good pregnancy, a good end to a pregnancy. And that just flipped the whole, the whole Ko Empire's assembly. Cohen's just like, really interesting. But see, this is the importance of understanding customs. And even it was probably BS. It was probably BS, but hey, maybe not. I don't know. The reaction, but you're looking at a lot of common people, so I don't know how the wealthy did in the old Baba traditions, right? But anyways, the people, but they were so grateful that, Alibaba, they didn't know what he was doing. They were freaking out. Even Obu was freaking out because it's like you're submitting yourself, and it's a lot of mind games that went on in that whole one scene that I could talk a whole video about, but I shall not do. Anyways, customs are so important. People don't even realize culture and customs. You eradicate things. You eradicate lifestyle. You eradicate things about people, essences of people, like why they think the way they think, why they act the way they act, and a whole slew of other things. You understand what I'm saying? So that was excellently done. And Cohen, he's all cool about it. He's like, forget all these little games. We're gonna talk to it by ourselves. And that's when we see the household. And the crackhead looking villainous dudes looking like, no. Cohen's like, please, y'all just. I want to talk to the ambassador because they were also and Koumei, I love what he says. He's like, brat, you didn't bring the Magi, so you're trying to allow Sinbad. And Sinbad's like, he's thinking it's all Sinbad's idea, not knowing it's between, not knowing Alibaba and Aladdin don't trust these two gentlemen. But anyways, so they go and talk, and Alibaba's not really saying anything, but which is pissing off Koumei. He's like, bro, you're wasting my time. Say something of importance. And he's asking these questions and you're not understanding the way things are. Koumei's like, so naive, so ignorant. So he's like, you need to go talk. And here's where the second part of the chapter comes. This last few, but you can argue to say it's the most important stuff, right? He goes and talks to Koumei, my bad, Koumei. I always get him messing his name up. The dude who had the Big Dipper space stuff. Now, his power, if he grows with it, is potentially some hack stuff. Not gonna lie. He could teleport pretty much anything. Some dimensional barrier. If he gets his stamina up and stuff. And now I see, because y'all remember I had talked, and I had done a whole video on the Four Kings arc, and I had talked about, the main players. Obviously Sinbad, Ren Kohen, Alibaba, and Ren Hakuryu. But didn't we see Yunin about 2 to 3 chapters ago talking about, I think it was 2 chapters ago, I think was it 206? I can't remember. But anyways, in this conversation with Aladdin, he talked about 8. It showed about 8 of them. Because, it's the 4 I mentioned in, but it was also Koumei, the little sister of Kohen, Koumei, Koha, and was it Hakuryu's sister? Was she shown as well? Oh, it might have been about 10 of them. But anyways, there was about 8 to 10 of the king's candidates. And he's like, whoever's system comes out, it's like a kind of what I mentioned, natural selection, survival of the fittest. And so whoever comes out on top, that's the way the path the world will follow. Here's why it was huge that Otaka did it like that, right? And here's why I was actually I was confused at first, but now I see. The Dark Prince shows his true face, man. Koumei, the shady underworld. He's like, you even Alibaba was saying, like, this guy, come on. Dude was the one. See, Kohen, he ain't about that. Even though he's the general commander, he don't really care about all this. He about that knowledge, right? He about the unifying. Koumei, his brother's on that shady stuff. He's the one that's putting forth, all the customs, everything has to look like Co-Empire. We're going to uniform, not just unite. We're going to make everything uniform. That's how we're going to unite. And he's saying, and it did say how, at the end of the chapter, it did say how Kohen and Koumei's, what are their true intentions. No, bro. Kohen, I think he's going to have it out with his brother. Because his intentions are not the same as Koumei's. Koumei's on that dark, shady stuff. I'm telling y'all, man. This dude is villainous. Did y'all see? That's why it was my thumbnail. Did y'all see that man's face? The young man's face. Dude, man. This dude, he was saying, I wrote up all this. You can blame it on me. That's why Kohen wanted him, Alibaba to talk to. And Alibaba's like, yeah. So, now we have now we're seeing, this is what I'm loving about it. People thinking All Tharman, they're still there. All Tharman's still there, right? But now, the kings. Now we're going to see some beef. So there's going to be a whole complexity. And I'm loving this. You know what I'm saying? This is when shonen shines. I mean, you see it in One Piece when you're talking about the different kings and the different big players. Now we're seeing it in Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic. And I'm loving it personally. I'm loving it. So what will Alibaba do? What more will we understand? This Baba arc, it was seeming like it was going to be short. It seems like this Return of Baba arc seems like it's going to be extended. Are Alibaba and Koumei gonna get in the fight right here now? Probably not. But that summit is going to be explosive. It's going to be very volatile because all this thrown together, just that fire. And where is Kohal? And one last point, besides where is Kohal? Seriously, that little dude, he was beast during the war. He was knowing it first, but he was beast during the war. The Magnum Star War. Yo, did y'all check? I forget. Can somebody tell me if you can remember what's with the Magi or something about Alibaba? Like he had those spots. I don't understand what those are for exactly. But it is what it is. Unexpected one. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me y'all thoughts on this chapter. Overall, I would say it was a phenomenal chapter of Magi. Why? We did get like massive story progression. Usually that's why it limited and knocked it down a couple of pegs, right? But let me tell y'all, we see some character development, great character development with Koumei. We see Alibaba continuing progressing as a character, which was very nice. We got past the whole Cohen situation, which was nice. We see that Cohen really, which I already knew isn't a villain to begin with, at least not at this point. We got a lot of great stuff. We saw, some more psychological games. We saw a full panel of Cohen's household, which I thought once again was excellent. So once again, a phenomenal chapter of Magi, and hope to see y'all next time. Peace. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night.